What's up? What's up? Welcome again to another episode of Music Tips and Reviews with JG. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you're tuning in on Facebook or on YouTube, I greatly appreciate the support. And also if you want to support me, you can support me on Cash App as well. $ jgilzva. So I greatly appreciate it. The support. And certain times, I feel, I should do something for the church community, the gospel music lovers. I cover all types of music on my channel, and so I thought tonight I'll cover, a legendary gospel songwriter, musician, just in a whole, has changed the whole, the whole spectrum of the gospel music stage. And that's none other than Kirk Franklin. I think he's done a lot for gospel music. He's changed the sound of gospel music, kind of to appeal more to the younger generation. Because I think before Kirk came, we was still more into the traditional songs, but when Kirk Franklin came, he kind of changed the sound of gospel in a good way. It brought younger people to Christ, younger children to Christ and stuff like that. At first, when he came out, people was kind of shaking their head, when Kirk Franklin first came out. But he changed the sound of gospel music, and I like that he's humble with his message. He always let us know that he's not perfect himself, but God is perfect, and God fixes him. He's done some things. He's been on Oprah show. I don't know if y'all remember years ago about the addiction he had, and he's very transparent with his fans and with the people that love him out here in the world. And so I've grown. Kirk Franklin has music has been the soundtrack to a lot of people's lives, especially from the church, the 90s, the 2000s, the soundtrack of people's spiritual life. And so I thought I'll rank his albums. This was very tough, ranking Kirk Franklin albums, because he has a lot of great albums. This was very tough. I was sitting almost an hour trying to figure out how I should place these albums. So if you're on Facebook, I don't know if I can see your comments up here, but if you can go over to YouTube, or you just want to watch, you can stay on Facebook. But if you're on Facebook, if you want to comment, please comment in the YouTube live chat. And also I have super chat as well, so I greatly appreciate that. And just let me know you in the building, and see who's supporting me out there on this show. So thank y'all for listening. So I just want to rank excuse me, I can't even talk tonight. I just want to rank Kirk Franklin albums. He's had so many albums. He had like 13 albums. So I want to start from the top, to my number one album. It might switch after I do this show, but this is my present ranking of Kirk Franklin albums. Once again, if you have a comment, I suggest you put the comment on YouTube at Music Tips and Reviews with JG, so I can see your comment and let me know you're in the building. So I greatly appreciate that. And so I'm gonna get into the rankings. He had 13 albums, and like I said, it was very tough to to rank these albums. But my number 13 album from Kirk Franklin, I have to go with the last album he just came out with, Kingdom Book 1. Yeah, because it's fairly new. The album is still growing on me. It's not really a lot of new songs. He kind of revamped a lot of his old songs and kind of changed them to like a worship vibe. I love the setting where they recorded this album. It was at Kingdom. It was at an institution. It wasn't like in a church or arena. It was like at an institution. So I thought that was pretty cool. You know, they had it at an institution like that. And the list of the album, Kingdom Book 1, it had a lot of older songs. I like the song Jealous. That was a pretty good song. So it had a lot of worship songs on this album, Kingdom Book 1. So if you're tuning in, let me know your favorite Kirk Franklin album. But my number 13 is Kingdom Book 1 with Maverick City Music. It's a good album. A lot of worship songs, like I said. I like when he kind of do albums that, you know, it's kind of international sound. It appeals to the Caucasian, it appeals to the white. It's like a multicultural album of worship. So that's my number 13. And I love Chandler Moore's voice on the songs as well. He's like one of the lead singers of Maverick City Music. And I love at the BT Awards, he gave his award to Maverick City Music group. So yeah, that's my number 13, Kingdom Book 1. Again, appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you're just tuning in, so my number 12. I didn't hardly get into this album. The cuts on the album, it didn't really have a lot of singles off this album. But my number 12 is Fight for My Life. Like I said, it was tough to rank these albums because all of them is good. But I felt this could have had more push. This album, Fight for My Life. I think Fight for My Life should have had more push as far as you know, the songs and the singles on this album. But I love Declaration, This Is It. I like Help Me Believe as well. I like Little Boy with Rance Allen and Isaac Correa as well. And I like the video for This Is It. But I don't know if y'all seen Kirk Franklin. He got real big now. He be in that gym. But yeah, Fight for My Life, I put it number 12. It just because it didn't really have a lot of buzz, you know, like the other albums. It didn't really have a lot of singles as well from this album. But it was a good album. You know, all Kirk Franklin albums is good. So I'm gonna get to number 11. Number 11, it didn't really get a lot of buzz as well, but it was a good album. I like the message of the album. They really dealt with real situations that people deal with in life. You know, from the poor to, you know, just really, you know, reaching down into different subjects. And so my number 11 is the One NC album. This album didn't really get a lot of buzz, but it was a good album. I like Nobody. That was a single on this album. He introduced this new group, One NC. So yeah, they're pretty good album, the One Nation Crew. So yeah, that's my number 11. Now I'm gonna get to the albums that I really love from Kirk Franklin. 13 to 11, I haven't really I didn't never really marinate with those albums 13 through 11. But my number 10, and I think it's a very underrated album as well. My number 10 is Losing My Religion. Losing My Religion was a good album. It's very slept on. I love the orchestration on the album. I love some of the album cuts that didn't really make the singles. Bring it up on my screen. And if you're in here, leave a comment as well if you're in here. But I love 1, 2, 3. That's a good road trip. I Want to Be Happy. That kind of contains part of Al Green's song. Tired of Being Alone. I like Over. I love the song Win with Kim Burrell and Layla Hathaway. That was a good song as well. My World Needs You. That was good. So it had a lot of good cuts on this album. Even though if it wasn't a single, it was a good song. And so that was my number 10. Again, if you're in here, leave a comment. Leave a comment if you can, and I'll respond to you. So my number 9. Excuse me. My number 9 is Long Live Love. Long Live Love. That's one of his latest albums as well. This album kind of, took you back. It was kind of like a buffet, if you will, of a lot of his sounds from the past and his updated sounds. He used samples, on this album as well. Love Theory, Just For Me. I like Strong God. So he had a lot of good albums on this, cuts on this album as well. So Long Live Love. Love Theory is good. I love that song. It was very catchy. He just know how to appeal to the older crowd and the younger crowd, and that's the magic, that comes from, Kirk Franklin. He knows how to combine, different generations and make everybody love his songs. So that's seems like the key to his music. So again, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. So that was my number 9. Long Live Love. So I'm gonna get to my number 8. My number 8. I think my number 8 is going to be Hallow Fear. This was a very good album as well. Hallow Fear. I love the self-titled song on the album, Hallow Fear. This came out in 2011. It was kind of a break from Fight For My Life, and then Hallow Fear came out. I love Hallow Fear. I like Before I Die. I like I Am. I just love the way he put songs together. I noticed a lot of his songs. He has a lot of great harmonies. He's even though it's kind of Karen sounding, I love that. He still have that basic, that traditional basics of, the choir sound. He still had that choir sound in his music. I Smile, of course, that was a good song as well, with the SOS sample. So Hallow Fear is my number 8 as far as Kirk Franklin albums. Again, if you're in here, please comment and let me know you're in the building. Let me know that you're in here, and let me know your favorite Kirk Franklin album, and or even your favorite Kirk Franklin songs. If you're on YouTube, man, if you're on Facebook, and please comment on YouTube. And so my number seven is Hero. My number 7 is Hero. Hero's good. It had a lot of features on this album, but it was a good album. I like Looking For You. Of course, Imagine Me. That was a beautiful song, Imagine Me. And I love the video as well. I love Could Have Been with J Moss and Ty Tribbett. I like Why with Stevie Wonder. I haven't heard this album in a while, but it had a lot of good songs on this album. Hero. I thought this was the in between. He had a lot. He still had that gospel inspired, but I love a lot of these songs on here was inspirational. Like I said, he had a lot of features on this album. So 7 was my was Hero. Excuse me, I'm yawning and everything on live. But yeah, 7 was Hero. Number 6. Now number 6 is New Nation Project. This was a very good album from top to bottom. New Nation Project. Revolution. Produced by Kirk Franklin. Produced by Rodney Jerkins. That was an awesome collaboration. Lean on Me, featuring Bono from U2, Crystal Lewis, Mary J. Blige, R. Kelly. That was a beautiful song as well. Like, sometimes when I'm down, I listen to that song. That was an incredible song. Something About That Name, Jesus, Riverside, He Loves Me, Gonna Be a Lovely Day. A lot of good songs in this album. Hold Me Now is a beautiful song. It's really like a conversation with God. I love that song. You Are. There's a lot of good songs on this album. New Nation. This was kind of like when he really, he really was recognized. This is kind of like after God's Property. People really got into his music. He had shifted the sound of gospel. He created a new sound now. New Nation. He's really connecting with secular artists. Like Mary J. Blige and R. Kelly, U2, Bono from U2. He really connecting with secular artists on this album, like on Lean on Me, and like I said, he had a lot of good ballads on this album. I wouldn't call them ballads, but slow songs on this album. Like Hold Me Now was a beautiful song. There's a lot of good songs on this album. Number 5. What You Lookin' For? Let's get to that album. It's a pretty good album. See. What You Looking For? I like Mama's Song, Melodies from Heaven, Conquerors. Whew. I like that one. Jesus Paid It All. A lot of these songs, like he kind of flipped hymns and stuff like that and made it his own. I just like the sound of this album. Just kind of shifted the sound of his music to a more modern sound. It's kind of like the shift, if you will, of his sound. You know, he kind of evolved when he got to this album. So number 5, you know, that Melodies from Heaven is classic. You know, everybody praise dance to that song. Everybody sings that at their church or what have you. Number 4, his first album, Kirk Franklin and the Family. Very good album as well. Came out in '93. This is his first album. When people really recognized Kirk Franklin. And so while we sang He's Able, Silver and Gold, I like He Can Handle It. So he on this album was like traditional Kirk Franklin, but it was amazing how incredible his writing is. Like, you would think these songs was in the hymn book, the way they sounded, cause you know he's just an incredible writer. Like when I was young, I heard why we sang on the the radio. It was really like a beautiful song. You know, songs I remember from when I was real young. And so Kirk Franklin and the Family was like the start of his career on gospel centric. Yep. So my number 3 is Rebirth. Rebirth was an incredible album. It was like the return of him. He was going through a whole lot. I don't know if y'all remember. He was kind of like in an accident on stage. He fell off stage and stuff like that. And he was in the hospital, and he kind of had a time to think about things. And he wrote this album. It was a long album, but you don't realize it, because the songs are so good. Hosanna, Caught Up was good. 911 featuring Bishop T.D. Jakes. Blood Song, that was beautiful with Donna McClurkin. Brighter Day. It's all these songs is classics. Off of Rebirth for Kirk Franklin. Like I said, it was tough to rank these songs because there's so many good songs on these albums. Especially on this Rebirth album. Rebirth for Kirk Franklin. Hosanna, like I said, He Reigns, that was beautiful. Don't Cry, with Richard Smallwood on the piano. So there's so many songs on this album. So that's my number 3. All right, my number 2. And also, if you have a favorite song, put it in the comment section, even after this live. So my number 2 is the Christmas album. I believe this is a classic album. From Kirk Franklin. Even though it's a Christmas album, it's still considered one of his albums. Silent Night, Now Behold the Lamb, Jesus is the Reason for the Season. That's a hit right there. That's a classic. There's No Christmas Without You. That's a beautiful song. Oh Come All Ye Faithful. What's that song? They Need to Know. That's my song right there. They Need to Know. I remember my parents, they used to play this. They still do. They play this all Christmas classic album. It brings me back memories of way back when I was younger. Around Christmas time. And so Kirk Franklin Christmas is classic. I had to put that at number 2 because it brings back a lot of memories to me personally around the holidays and stuff like that. So that's my number 2. Because it's such a classic. Everybody plays, gospel people play Kirk Franklin Christmas around, the holidays. And so my number 1, I picked this as number 1 because this album really shifted, the sound of gospel. So my number 2 is Kirk Franklin Christmas. My number one has to be God's Property, because God's Property really shifted, the sound of gospel music, especially with Stomp. That was a good album, man, a good song. Had a lot of good songs. My Life Is in Your Hands, It's Raining, More Than I Can Bear. There's a lot of good songs on this album. Love, woo, I like Love. That's a beautiful song right there. Love, Sweet Spirit, Faith, You're the Only One. You are the only one. So Good, The Storm Is Over Now. And so yeah, it's a lot of good songs on this album. And I picked this as number 1 because it kind of shifted the sound of gospel in a good way. And so yeah, this is my ranking of Kirk Franklin albums. Thanks for tuning in with me. And I thought I'd do this because Kirk Franklin, his music has changed people's lives, so much. And he has many more, more stuff to come. But this has been my ranking of the Kirk Franklin, albums. Again, appreciate y'all for tuning in. And please subscribe to my channel, Music Tips and Reviews with JG. And also continue support financially if you want to support $jgilzva. Alright, but this has been another video from your boy JG. Alright, peace.